I have tried 14 new foundations since the year started, and I am here today to rank them from worst to best. I do have individual reviews on each and every single one of these on my YouTube channel, so just type Patty and the name of the foundation on YouTube if you want to see a specific review. But this is going to be a little quick rundown of the things that I either dislike or like about these foundations, and I have some thoughts on a lot of them. If you like videos like this one, don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave, and let's just go ahead and get started. For reference, my skin type is dry as a desert, and I do have sensitive skin as well. Besides that, as I have gathered years, I do have some visible pores right over here, and my main issue when it comes to foundation covering things is redness. I have a little bit of rosacea on my cheeks, and I prefer that to be covered so that I don't look like a tomato. So for that reason, I tend to prefer foundations that have at least a little bit of coverage, enough to cover my redness. And then besides that, I do prefer thinner looking foundations. They look better on my texture and I find them to look more natural on my skin. So let's get started with the ranking. The worst foundation I tried this year, beyond any of the other ones, I really hated. There is not one positive thing I can tell you about it. Everything was wrong. I don't even have it because I felt so ripped off when I bought it that I took it back, and I never take back products. I usually keep it even if I don't like it, because I can give it away or try and make it work, or just keep it to make videos like this one, honestly. But I was offended by the fact that this foundation was so bad, so I took it back just to like make a point, okay? And it is the Jaclyn Cosmetics Skin Tint. There was no way. There was absolutely zero ways I could make that work. You can go back and watch the review I did on it. It was the most textured product I have ever put on my face. It did not look even. It didn't cover anything. It was just the worst. It was kind of sticky. I hated it, okay? I hated it. I don't even want to spend that much time on it. Just stay away. At number 13 is this right here. This is the One Size Beauty Turn Up the Base BB Cream from the Patrick Star line. Now with this one, I have heard for some people that it does work for them. It did not work for me. Like I said, I do have dry skin. This does have an immediate matte texture to it. I felt like it made my pores look enlarged. It made my skin look dry. It created unnecessary texture on my skin as well. I did not like it, did not enjoy it. I do also have to recognize that it being a matte foundation, it's not made probably for my skin type. So it's kind of a little bit more normal that it doesn't work for me in particular. But since it is a BB cream, I thought there was going to be some sort of hydration to it, even if it had a matte finish. And so I really wanted to try it. I had high expectations and it did not work at all whatsoever. One thing I like about it is I like this innovative packaging thing. It comes out on the side here. I feel like I haven't seen a foundation that does that, but that is about it. I don't like anything else about it, unfortunately. This next one I really expected would work for me, and it did not. And it is a foundation that is skin improving, is hydrating, it's got SPF, it's medium coverage, lightweight. It's got like all of the things in its description that tell me you are going to love this, because this is exactly the type of foundation you like. And no, I didn't. I'm talking about the Cosas Foundation, and this one actually works for a lot of people, but keep in mind I have desert dry skin. My dry skin, not normal. I have kind of normal, a little bit oily on the forehead, but like my cheeks and around my mouth area, very, very dry. Besides that, it came out at the beginning of the year. It was still really cold here in Atlanta and it was dry outside. That might also have something to do with the fact that it got dry on me so fast. This one, I feel like it looked okay when I first put it on, but immediately it started showing a little bit of texture. It made my pores look a little bit larger, and overall I just didn't like the look of my face with this one on. It looked a little bit thick on top of my face, like it sat on top of my face rather than blending in. which is an issue that I do tend to have with some foundations. And so overall, this one was a big no for me. It did cover my redness, which was nice, and I also couldn't find a perfect shade for me. This one I believe was like a little bit yellow or something. And so unfortunately, even though I really wanted to love this Cosas foundation, it's a little bit towards the bottom of the list. Next we have the first foundation I tried this year, and one that I had sky high expectations for, and that was the Beautiful Skin foundation from Charlotte Tilbury. It does have a beautiful glowy finish, I will give it that, but that beautiful glowy finish will enhance and highlight every single one of the pores on your face. Besides that, it's not a thin foundation that like kind of sinks into the skin easily. It's more on the thick and sticky side and like kind of heavy feeling on the face, which was not at all what I was expecting this one to perform like. It does have a beautiful medium coverage, but it just showed me pores I did not even know existed on my face. So unfortunately, another big fat no for this one. So these 4 foundations that I just spoke about are the ones that I'm like, no, do not get them. I do not like them. Did not work for me at all whatsoever. I would stay away. From here on, all of these have worked for me in some capacity, but I have some cons against them per se, and so I'll start letting you know about those as we go. But like from here on, these are good. I do really like all of these. They're not all my favorite, but I like them. At number 10, we have this Rose Inc Skin Enhance Luminous Tinted Serum. I actually like this. I'm not gonna lie, I liked it. It looked extremely natural on my face. It made my face look really nice and glowy. The one thing that this product does not do for me is fully cover the redness on my cheeks. Because it is a skin tint and it is so lightweight, it also doesn't have that much coverage to it. So if I'm relying solely on it to cover the redness on my cheeks, I can't really count on it that way because it just does not do it. Once I put a little bit of concealer over it, or if I use a primer that like covers my redness before I put it on, or if I mix it with other products, which I have done before and it works beautifully, then I love it and I can use it. But on its own, it just does not give me enough coverage to cover my rosacea, and that is a very personal problem of mine, but for that reason it's not my favorite. Now this might sound crazy, but the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation combined with this Rose Inc serum tint situation is so good, because this is too thick and this is too thin, but this gives it coverage. And it's weird because they have such different textures, but when you mix them together and blend them on the face, they work so beautifully. So these combined I love, but I'm ranking them individually at the moment. The foundation on the 9th spot is this one here. This is the Nars Foundation. What were you called? The Light Reflecting Foundation from Nars. This foundation looks so beautiful when you first put it on your face. It makes me look flawless and poreless and glowy. 10 minutes into me applying this foundation, it hits all of my check marks. I love it. I'm feeling good. But then after a few minutes, it starts kind of like drying down and creating little crevices like in between the particles of foundation, and that creates this texture, especially around my mouth area, that is very unflattering, and it is so disappointing because I love it. It looks so good when I first put it on, but it makes this area of my face right here look so terrible after I've had it on for 20 minutes. I feel like it starts changing around 20 minutes in, and it is a big shame. Again, something that is personal to me and my dry skin, but unfortunately I can't rank this one any higher because it just doesn't wear good on me, even though it looks amazing when I first apply it. This next one, on the other hand, is very consistent throughout the day, and that is the Dior Forever Skin Glow Foundation. This is not necessarily a new foundation, but it was reformulated at the beginning of the year, and I tried it and I really like it. The reason this one is my number 8 favorite rather than a little bit closer to the top is because I do find that it's a little bit thicker than I would personally prefer. Don't get me wrong, it looks beautiful, But sometimes when foundations have a teeny tiny bit of thickness to them, I do feel like I can see my pores a little more, or my texture is a little bit enhanced, etc. And so for that reason, even though I like it and it wears beautifully on me throughout the day, it just doesn't wear as beautifully as the next ones I'm going to mention, if that makes sense. But overall, it's not a bad formula. I just prefer things that are a little bit thinner and a little bit more blaring on my dry skin. Foundation number 7, the Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation. This was also something that was reformulated, repackaged, relaunched this year. This one is a really good everyday foundation for me. I like the thickness of it. It is a little bit creamier than the previous version, but I like it because it gives me a little bit more coverage. The previous version, the Ultra HD foundation from Makeup Forever, was too thin to the point where it didn't cover my rosacea the way I would have wanted it covered. I always had to like fix it with something else on top, and this one gives me the coverage that I want right away. It is a hydrating product. It wears beautifully throughout the day. I don't really have any cons against it. It's a nice foundation, but it doesn't make me feel as flawless as the rest of these do. This next foundation is not a 2022 launch, but I did try it this year for the first time, and so I'm putting it in this video. It is the Chantikai Foundation. I feel like this one got a lot of hype when the season of Euphoria came out. I don't really follow that show, and everybody was talking about the Euphoria makeup, and this was a foundation that they used on the show. So Chantikai was kind enough to send it to me to try, and I really like it. It is a beautiful buildable foundation. I love that it has this like gel-like consistency to it, where it's very thin and you can use an extremely sheer layer of it, or you can build it up all the way up to like a high medium coverage, I would say, and it still looks nice and thin on the skin, and it is very, very natural looking. It feels hydrating on my face. It doesn't enhance my pores. It doesn't enhance my texture. Honestly, I would give this one a solid 9 out of 10, and I'm not giving it a 10 out of 10 because I found that it doesn't work for me with every single primer that I like to put underneath it, but it works, and when it works, it looks absolutely stunning. My number 5th spot goes to this right over here. This is the Say Beauty Slip Tint. This has a beautiful sheer buildable to medium coverage. It doesn't enhance my pores. It doesn't enhance my texture. I love the glowiness that this gives my face, and even though it doesn't have a lot of coverage, I do find that my redness is covered enough. And my favorite thing about this is how lightweight it is and how perfect for like every day. It doesn't feel heavy on the skin. It looks extremely natural. Overall, I have really been enjoying this one a lot. You know what I haven't done yet? I have been loving the Say Beauty concealer, like literally cannot put it down. I'm wearing it right now, and I still haven't tried them together. I have homework to do. But anyways, this Say Beauty Slip Tint, love it. 9.5 out of 10. I just wish it had a teeny tiny bit more coverage for my rosy cheeks, but other than that, it's phenomenal. My top 4 products are all 10 out of 10, okay? They're different, they kind of do different things, but I'm in love with every single one of them. At number 4, and I'm putting this in the foundation category, but it's not necessarily even a foundation, but you can use it as a foundation. So I decided to put it here because I love it and I want to talk about it. I'm referring to the Vanessa Myrick's Yummy Skin Balm. I have mine in shade number 3, so it has some coverage, so I'm going to say it qualifies as a foundation. I can definitely use this with my fingers just all over my face to cover everything I want covered, and it looks so natural, so skin-like, because it has this beautiful matte finish to it that makes it look like I'm not wearing any makeup. This is actually a matte finish product that does work for my dry skin, which I think it's crazy. Everybody who I've heard talk about this really likes it. I love that it fills in my pores beautifully. I can totally use it on a daily basis for a very natural look, or I can use it the way I did today, which was actually underneath my foundation as a primer to cover up my pores and my redness, and then the foundation has a lot less work to do. This would be something that I could also pair with my Rose Ink tint that would make that tint work a lot better. I also love the uniqueness of this product. I don't really have anything else like it in my collection, and I have not been able to put it down since I got it. I use it every day, either on its own or under makeup, and it just works so beautifully. I love the texture of it, and I will continue to use it. I've only had it for a handful of days and already making a dent in it. Okay, I hope it lasts a long time because I do use very little, though a little bit goes a long way with this one. It makes me feel flawless even when I just use it on its own and it looks like I'm not wearing makeup. It's a fantastic product. 10 out of 10. I highly recommend it. The next product is actually a cushion compact from Cosmetics. This was love at first application, okay? I fell in love with this product the moment I tried it. This makes my skin look absolutely flawless. It does not enhance any pores, any texture. It has this beautiful natural to luminous finish to it that makes me feel like I'm just glowing, and it is so natural looking because it is such a thin product. It also has an SPF 45, I believe, but it is such a thin product that I don't feel it on my skin at all. And for a cushion compact, it has an incredible amount of coverage. I would say on the high side of medium coverage. She doesn't have a ton of shades of this one, and I wish she expanded because I'm sure that not everybody can use the existing shades in the range, but it is just such an amazing product. I have mine in the shade light medium, and this is my perfect shade. I love this one because I feel protected, I feel covered, I feel flawless, no texture, no pores. What is not to love about this right over here? I'm obsessed, okay? Obsessed. Highly recommend. You need it. Especially now that it's summertime, get your cushion compact with your SPF and just enjoy. Thank me later. Product number 2, the Rare Beauty Skin Tint. This one does not have SPF, but it is also perfect for the summertime. I love this product so much. It also is one of those products that makes me feel flawless when I apply it. It looks natural. It builds up to a medium coverage. It covers my redness. It is very thin, not heavy on my skin, blends right in. It doesn't enhance my pores. It doesn't enhance my texture. It hydrates my skin. I feel hydrated throughout the day. It is just fantastic, and I've heard people that have all the way to like oily skin rave about this one. So it's not just for the dry people, it works for a lot of people. Selena also has a really amazing shade range in this release. It doesn't cost an arm and a leg. It's nice and, you know, affordable for a high-end product. Again, 10 out of 10, highly recommend. I have 2 shades of it. 26W is kind of like my usual normal shade, and then 36C is definitely too tan for me, but this one was sent to me and then I bought this one because I loved it so much. I had to get it in the right shade, but when I self-tan, I mix them together and it is a match made in heaven. So love this product, highly recommend. It is just the best. Now the winner for 2022 so far has to be this Chanel foundation right here. This is the number 1 the Chanel foundation. I tried it back in February for the first time, and it quickly became one of my top 2 foundations ever. Out of every foundation I've ever used, this one is in my top 2, the other one being the Mcgrath Foundation, which is what I'm wearing today. It is just wonderful. A little pricey, but wonderful. This one makes me feel truly flawless. No pores, no texture once again. A beautiful medium coverage right away. I don't feel the need to have to build it up or anything. It applies beautifully. I can apply it with a brush or a sponge. It doesn't matter. The texture is good with any method of application. It has a beautiful slick packaging. I think it also has like skincare properties to it, which I don't really trust in foundations because you should be getting your skincare properties from your skincare, but anyways, it has them. It has a very subtle scent in my opinion, and I actually quite like it, and it's just overall the foundation that I have tried in 2022 that I like the best out of all of these, and so of course I highly recommend it if you're looking for a beautiful, flawless, new foundation, definitely get your hands on this one. And I feel like I'm describing this one just like I did these right here, but these right here I have to build up a little bit more than this one does, and they have a little bit more of a luminous finish, which I like for some occasions but not for all occasions. So the fact that this one is a bit more natural looking makes it definitely occupy the #1 spot in my ranking. I feel like I made some good points about how some of them differentiate from one another. I hope I did. And if you liked today's ranking video, don't forget to please give it a thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content like this one. I'm going to, of course, have all of these foundations listed and linked down below. And I highly, highly, highly recommend the top 4 products that I just spoke about. They literally are used in my collection for different occasions, and so I really love them all. And I love you guys too so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up before you leave, and I hope to see you back in the next one. Bye bye.